Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at Quassus again. DE actually just buffed this weapon in their most recent patch. I really don't know why, but at this point it just becomes completely insane in the amount of damage it outputs. It's so strong you don't even need to use it on Mirage anymore for it to be able to one-shot enemies, but we're going to be looking at this build first. It's the same build that we used for before. Our focus today will be on the normal gameplay build instead of the Eidolon build, but if you want to see that build is right here. It still works the same way as before and can one-shot even more easily on Octavia, but today we're going to be focusing on the Mirage build, or well, I guess in this case, any frame build for normal gameplay. So it's going to look like this. If you want to have a more detailed explanation on how this build works, please check out the original video that I linked in the description below, or you can click the link at the top of this video. So we're going to be spawning our level 145 Corrupted Heavy Gunners now. If I use the same setup as before where I cast my 1 and my Eclipse and proc my Vig swap, it just completely one-shots them. You don't even need the slash procs at this point. I don't really know when something would survive this kind of throw unless say you're playing in the multi-hundred levels. I'm not even using a Bane for the Corrupted to test here, where that would increase my damage even more, as in the original video I accidentally used a Bane for the Grenier instead. So let's test this again, and this time I will not use my Eclipse. I will only use my clones. It still completely one-shots them. I don't need any of the slash proc ticks, they straight up just die. Well, that one didn't die, but it was one slash proc away. It's probably just because some projectiles missed. And even if I do this again, without my 1 or 3 up, so I basically have no buffs at this point except my Vigorous swap. I'm going to throw it right here. So he does much less damage to them, but they still die from a single throw due to the slash procs. It just produces so much damage now with the buff DE gave it that it's viable on pretty much every single frame. If I even just say change to, here's a random loadout with a Rhino here. I'm gonna pick this one. I put a Quassus on this earlier when I was testing with no buffs. I don't think this one even has Vigorous swap on it. So I'm going to pull my Quassus out here and just throw it at this Corrupted Heavy Gunner. Yeah, that definitely doesn't have Vig swap. But you see all this slash damage ticking through. And he didn't die, but he came very close to dying. So at this point, you probably still need to use Vigorous swap if you want a guaranteed one-shot on them, but it's just so strong. Apparently I had an Arcane Fury on this, but this still shouldn't affect the damage. I don't believe DE changed the interaction, so base damage mods in Arcane should still be unable to affect the thrown damage. Let's take this off and test again. And yeah, as you can see, the ticks are pretty much the same. Actually, this time it died to that throw. So Arcane Fury still does not work. Quassus Heavy Throw is now viable on pretty much any frame. You don't really need any Warframe buffs for it to work now. Of course, now it's absolutely insane on Mirage, and I can only imagine how nuts it would be in Octavia too for normal play. Remember that I'm not even throwing at their heads. If I bring absolutely no buffs, which means no clones, no Eclipse, no Vig swap, and I just aim at their head, it does way more than enough damage to kill them with the slash procs. Remember, this is a MR8 weapon. DE, what were you thinking? So that was pretty much all I wanted to show you today, and I'd strongly recommend picking this weapon out and trying it before DE decides to reverse these changes that they did on it. Thank you all for watching, and see you all next time.